this secant method is multi-point iteration method. Here we use 2 point like x naught and x1 to get the next approximation x2. So in this secant method, what we will do, we select two initial value, and like we did in bisection, we are not bothering whether the roots lying between fa or fb. We just randomly select two values x naught and x1. Once we selected two values x1 naught and x1, on those values we calculate the function value like f of x naught and f of x1, and then we have 2 point. One point a is f x naught f x naught, another point is x1 f x1, and then we draw a line joining these 2 points, and wherever this line intersects with the x-axis, we assume this new point as our like next approximation to the root. So like if we have already selected x naught and x1, and then we have 2 point x naught f x naught, another one is x1 f x1, and the line of equation going through these 2 points is given by this y minus f of x1 f of x1 minus f of x naught divided by x1 minus x naught x minus x1. And since we are try here we are trying to find those values of x for which this y is actually 0, because we are trying to find roots here to the function fx. So it's like some false assumption. We are assuming that when y is equals to 0, this f of x2 is also 0, although that one is not true. But with that assumption, we try to find our next approximation x2. So we substitute here y equals to 0, we will, and in place of x we substitute x equals to x2, and then we have this one. And then after simplification we have this one, like we keep x2 minus x1 on one side and other part on the other side, and then finally this is our iterative procedure. So if we have x naught and x1, with the help of x naught and x1 we can easily calculate x2. So here this is, we generalize this formula like this: xk plus 1 equals to xk minus xk minus 1 f of xk minus f of xk minus 1 into f of xk, where k goes to 1 2 3 up to. So in this secant method we use this formula to calculate our next approximations. Like secant method, we have a regular falsy method. So regular falsy method, it means it's like at a regular interval we are assuming false assumption that we are getting root in each every iteration, but that is not a root. That is a approximate root. So the concept is same as the case of secant method, but the condition is that here we select 2 points x naught and x1 such that their f values are having opposite signs. Like earlier in secant method we are now testing whether f of x naught into f of x1 is less than 0 or not. But when we are applying this regular falsy method, in regular falsy method we select our x naught and x1 such that f of x naught into f of x1 is less than 0, and then we draw a chord joining these 2 points x naught fx naught and x1 fx1, and wherever this chord intersecting at x-axis, we assume that this is actually our root, but it's like a false assumption, because this is not a root, it's an approximation. Once we have this one, again we check whether f of x naught and f of x2 product is less than 0. If fx naught and fx x2 is less than 0, then we replace x1 by x2. And if it is not 0, then we replace x naught by x2. In particular, in this figure, it's look like that f of x naught and f of x2 are less than 0. So we replace x1 by x2 and then we apply our regular false method. And like this we continue. So in this method, we replace the function fx by a code passing through the point xk, fxk, comma, and fxk minus 1, f of xk minus 1, and take the point of intersection with the x-axis as the approximation of root. So the equation of chord is same as the earlier. If we use the same equation, where derivation is same like equation of the uh, line passing through 2 points x naught f x naught and x1 f x1 is given by this. Again we are searching x2 such that y equal to 0. So we'll have the same formula like with the secant, but here one more condition is imposed. That one is this one: f of xk into f of xk minus 1 is less than 0. So this is our formula is same for secant and regular falsy, but the procedure is different because at each and every step we check this condition in regular falsy, and we are not bothering about this condition in secant method. So, so like this, you can see this is the our formula: x2 minus x1 minus x1 minus x naught upon f of xk minus f of x naught f of x1. So here if x naught into fx2 is less than 0, then we replace x2 by x1, and this is our new formula. So the first step is same, but in the second step it is different because if it is secant method, so here instead of x naught we have x1, but it is regular falsy, and on the basis of this condition we have to change the variable. So here like x naught and f product f of x naught into f of x2 is less than 0. That's why we are replacing all x1 in the this formula by x2, and we are getting the next approximation x3. And if this is true, f of x1 into f of x2 is less than 0, then this is this one. So we have to check which one is less than 0. Accordingly our method change. So here we perform some four iteration of the secant and regular falsy method to the function this one: f of x equals to x cube minus 5x plus 1 equals to 0. And here the because we have to find the roots in the interval 0 1, so it is already provided here: x naught is 0 and x1 is 1. So here x naught is 0 and x1 is 1, and then we have calculated with the f values. F of x naught is 1 and f of x1 is minus 3. Now we calculate our x2. So to calculate x2, we know the formula for secant method is this one: x2 equals to x1 minus x1 minus x naught upon f of x1 minus f of x naught into f of x1, and all values we have with us: x naught, x1, f of x naught, f of x1. We substitute all this, we will get this is as a x2. Now we calculate f of x2, and f of x2 is this one: minus 0.2344. So here you can see this is f of x2. Now we calculate x3. So in secant method we are not bothering about whether f of x2 into f of x1 is less than 0 or f of x2 into f of x naught is less than 0. So x3 is simply this one: x2 minus x1 upon f of x2 minus f of x1 into f of x2. So here again we have f of x2 is this one, f of x1 is this one, and simply we substitute all the value, we will get x3. And the value of f of x3 is this one. Again to calculate x4, we just in this formula we substitute in this formula we substitute k equals to 3. If we substitute k equals to 3, we will get our x4 equals to x3 minus x3 minus x2 upon f of x3 minus f of x2 into f of x3. So if we do this, we will get this one, x2 minus x2 equals to x3 minus x2 upon f of x3 minus f of x2 f of x3. So we substitute all these values here, and then we calculate x4, and x4 we get the value of f of x4, and similarly we calculate x5 by replacing k by 4 in the secant method formula, and finally we can see that we are getting x5. Wait a minute. So I think I am audible again. So a secant method is easy to apply. You can see just we have to remember the iteration like xk plus 1 equals to xk minus 1 upon f of xk minus 1 into f of xk. And we can see that at each and every iteration we are getting better value of x4, like f of x4 is here 0.003, so it is near to 0. So in x3 it is like this. So x4 is a better approximation to the root as compared to x3, because the f value of x4 is like having like 10 3 into in if in terms of absolute value we can say 3 into 10 raised to power minus 4. So like this we can use our secant method. Now we go to the regular falsy method, how we can solve the same method, same problem with the help of regular falsy method. X cube minus 5x plus 1 equals to 0. So for regular falsy method, even though in this question it is given that the rules lies between 0 and 1, but you have to find, if it is not provided, then you have to find x0 and x1 such that their f values are having opposite signs, like f of x0 into f of x1 is here having the product of f of x0 into f of x1 is less than 0, and this is the our regular falsy method formula, like x2 equals to x0 f of x1 minus x1 f of x0 upon f of x1 minus f of x0. This formula and the second formula are same, because if you simplify now, this one the simplification is already here. You can see this is the formula for secant method, and if I like multiply this to here and simplify it, I will get this one. So the formula is same, either you write in this form or you write in this form, for a regular and falsy method, for a secant and regular falsy method. So instead of using that form in this problem, we have used this form, even though you can use this form also, there is no problem. So this is your x2. So once you have your x2, you have applied your conditions like this, and you are getting this is as your 0.002 0.25 Like this, you got your x2 and you have calculated your f of x2, and here you are getting negative sign. So you can see that f of x1 is negative and f of x2 is also turned out to be negative. And you can see the first iteration of secant also, because the first iteration is same, we are getting the same value here, but in secant we are not bothering about the product of f of x in 1 into f of x2, but here in regular falsi we have to check that condition. So here f of x, no, x naught into f of x2 is less than 0. So it means in the above formula our x1 is replaced by x2, because now the root is lying between x2 and sorry, x naught and x1 in this interval. So in this formula x1 is replaced by x2 and you are having your x3 like this: x naught f of x2 minus x2 f of x naught divided by f of x2 f of x1. So here it is changed, and because earlier in, if it is secant, it is like x1 x2 x2 f of x1 divided by f of x2 f of x1, but it is regular falsi, and the basis of this condition it is this one. So some of you may do these mistakes. If suppose I ask the solve the problem with the help of regular falsi and you applied, even though you think that you have applied the right formula, but your procedure is wrong, and then you will get the zero to this problem if you are not checking this condition each and every step. So this is your x3. So now to calculate x, we again check the value of f of x3. F of x3 is 0.0032. Now again we check the condition. If this one is f of x naught and f of x3 is less than 0, it means in this above formula, now x2 is replaced by x3 to get the next approximation x4, because the root is now lying between x naught and x3. So your formula is this one for x4: x naught fx3 minus x3 fx naught, fx3 minus fx naught, and then after simplification you are getting this one, and f of value is this one. Again you check the condition. Again here this is negative, so x3 is replaced by x4 and you are getting your x5. So this is your x5. You can see that the approximated values are also different in secant and after fourth iteration, even though they are same in this particular, okay, different. Like fourth iteration we are having 0.2017, and here at the end of fourth iteration we have 0.2016. So this is the difference, and the how we apply this secant and regular method, falsi method. So the one advantage of secant method, it is fast, like and it is fast. It will give you as a result in a less number of iteration, but it may diverge also, because we are not bothering whether the root lies in the interval or not, and we are not checking whether the next approximation lies within the root, the next approximation, then the root lying in the interval or not. So this method is fast, but it will lead to you some wrong results also. Like here you are getting better result, like 0.002 f of x5, but there are some problems in which you will not get this one. You may also get like 2 into 10 raised to power plus 5. Like this kind of results we will get it using this method. But this regular falsi is slow as compared to secant method, but here we have guaranteed that after some like 10 to or 11 iterations we are going towards the roots. So this is the advantage of regular falsi method, but it is slow, and secant method is fast, but it will lead to you wrong result also. So there are some problems. Now we come to another method known as Newton-Raphson method. So what we will do in this Newton-Raphson method, suppose our original curve is yfx, and this is the drawing of the curve, this curve, and we have selected one x naught as a point, that is our initial guess. So this secant method and this regular falsy method are multi-point method, because we are calculating x2 based on the knowledge of two previous points. Now to calculate x1 in the Newton-Raphson method, we required only the knowledge of x naught. So this is single point method. So what we are doing here, because we have only single point, we know only about x naught and f of x naught, obviously, because we know the function. So if we have x naught, some initial guess, then we can easily calculate f of x naught. Then to get the next approximation, what we will do, we draw a tangent at the point x naught. So we have drawn a tangent, and wherever this tangent at x naught intersecting with the x-axis, we get our new uh, approximation x1. So this is x1, like this is x1, and then we have a new point x1 fx1, and then again at fx1 we are uh, mm, again at x1 we draw the tangent, and we get this one. This we can see in the, wait a minute. Mm, this book. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you can say this is the secant method, because we have taken x naught and x1, and the x naught and x1 we are not, because you can see now the curve is lying above the x-axis. It means f of x naught and f of x1 is not less than 0, but we are using these two approximation to get the x2. But in regular falsy, we have taken x naught and x1 such that their f values product is less than 0, that is f of x naught and f of x1 is less than 0. But in this Newton-Raphson method, we have selected one point x naught f x naught. In this f of x naught f x naught, we have draw one tangent, and that tangent intersecting at x-axis at x1, and we get our new point x1 f x1. And then again we draw a tangent which is intersecting at x-axis at x2, and then we again new point x2 f of x2, and then we again draw a tangent, and like this we will get our next approximations. I think this PDF is again visible. If it is not visible, then you can ask, otherwise I'm continuing. So here I have to draw a tangent. So from, you know how we calculate tangent at the point x naught f x naught. The equation of the tangent at the point x naught f x naught is given by this one, y minus f of x naught f dash of x naught x minus x naught. So here you can see in earlier method there is no requirement of derivative is there, like you have used secant, bisection and regular falses. There is no requirement of the derivative of the function. So but here in this method there is a requirement of the derivative also. So this is the disadvantage of the Newton-Raphson method. because you have to calculate derivative. Sometimes you have a function like that, you are not able to find its derivative. So for y equals to 0 and let x equals to x1, because this is the equation of the tangent at the point x naught f(x naught). So wherever this tangent intersecting with x-axis, so wherever it intersecting at x-axis, it means y is 0. So we are assuming that point is x1, which is intersecting with the x-axis. So we are getting y equals to 0, and we substitute in it, we will get this one. So this one, and then this one, x1 minus x naught, f of x naught, f dash of x1. So, and then finally this one. So this is our Newton Raphson method. You can say this is the generalized one. So xk minus xk plus 1 equals to xk minus f of x k plus 1 equals to xk minus f of xk upon f dash of xk. So in this method, the problem is that if this f dash of xk is 0, so if this f dash of xk is 0, like you have selected some x naught such that f dash of x naught is 0 or near to 0. So if it is near to 0, it means your tangent is parallel to x-axis. So if this is the situation, then because you have taken one initial guess x naught, and you can see you have taken one initial guess x naught. On the basis of this x naught, even though we discuss here, you have taken one initial guess x naught, and on the basis of this x naught, you are trying to get your x1. So this is the like a correction. This is like the correction minus f of x naught upon f dash x naught. This is the correction you want to make in x naught, whether it is positive or negative, but this is the correction so that you get a better approximation x1 from x naught. But if this is near to 0, if this is near to 0, then this quantity, the whole quantity is near to infinity, and it means you are correcting x naught by some value near to infinity. So it means your Newton method is not going to converge if you have taken your x naught such that your f dash of x naught is 0, or your tangent is somewhat parallel to x-axis. So this is the one drawback. And the advantage is the, if this is like if this is infinity, like if you have selected a x naught such that your f dash of x naught is 0, it means your tangent is perpendicular to the x-axis. If your tangent is perpendicular to the x-axis at the point x naught, then f dash of x naught value is 0. And if it is, sorry, then this value is infinity, the denominator value f dash of x naught is infinity, and this value is 0. If the denominator is infinity, then this whole value is 0 or near to 0. It means you have selected a x naught, and there is like a very little or very small amount of correction is there, so it means you are getting better result. So this is the advantage or disadvantage of the Newton-Raphson method. Now we use like so like in this question, like instead of asking directly a question, find a root of the equation x cube minus 17 equals to 0, I can ask you find the cube root of 17. So here it is cube root. Even though I can ask you find the like square root of 39 or cube root of 39 something. So if I ask you to find the cube root of 17 raised to power 7, cube root of 17, that is 17 1 by 3, this one, this value I want to know. So what I assume, this is I assume equivalent to x, and then after taking cube power of both side, I will get this one, and then finally this is a polynomial x cube minus 17. So the my final target is to find the x such that this is 0. So to get this x, I use my Newton-Raphson method. So for this, I have to assume this part left side of the 0 as fx. So this is my fx. And in Newton-Raphson method, you know that we require derivative at the initial point also. So we have calculated the f dash x also. So this is f dash x. So we have x and f dash x. And in this question, it is given that the initial approximation is 2. So you have taken your x naught as 2. But if it is not given, then you use the approach whatever you used in your bisection method. You select 2 points A and B such that fa into fb is less than 0, and then you calculate their midpoint like a plus b by 2, and then you assume that one is your x naught. So first time when you are using your Newton-Raphson method to calculate your initial guess, either it is given, if it is not given, so you do this thing, you calculate a and b such that fa into fb is less than 0, and your x naught is a plus b by 2, and with this x naught you start. So once you have known your x naught, it is 2, you calculate the value of f at x naught, which is minus 9, value of f dash of x naught, which is 12, and the formula is this one, x naught x1 equals to x naught minus f of x naught divided by f dash of x naught. You are getting this one. Then you calculate x2. x2 is x1 minus f of x1 divided by f dash of x1. x1 is this one. So you use your calculator to calculate f of x1 and f dash of x1, and these are the value. Finally, you have this one and this one. So like this, you can use your Newton-Raphson method. And then, okay. I think this new PDF is also visible to everyone. So here we have already learned this bisection method. Then they have discussed the regular falsi method. They have not, in this notes, they have not written this secant method, but that one is already, the this note is also shared with you. So you can see the secant method from there. Then this is, they have derived this Newton method using Taylor series expansion method. So this is like you can see here. Is this visible? This red heading line.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So here like you have one function fx and you have to find its x naught. So you have selected, sorry, you have to find one approximate root to this function fx. You selected one approximate root x naught, and from x naught you have calculated x1, and this h is the correction, like you have done, like this is the correction if I made, and I will get the x1. Actually all the methods are like this, and this h is changing, the like you can say the function of h is changing for different method. So we know that this is x1, so we can write and how we are searching this x1 such that whether we are that f of x1 is 0, whether this is a false assumption, but our target is that we find a x1 such that f of x1 is 0 after this correction h. So we have expanded this f of x naught plus h by Taylor series expansion that is already shared. The expansion is already shared with you in the first notes, and then this is the Taylor series expansion. And here in this, they have, because we are assuming this h is very small, and so we are neglecting all the terms containing the powers h square and higher degree in h. So we are having with us this one. So it means this is like a error, or they are actually contributing something equivalent to negligible. So we have h this one, and then we substitute the value of h in this correction, and we will get x1 as this one. So this is like another approach, but the one I already told you in this notes, that is the best one, because if someone asks in your viva, then you have to talk about this, how we are approximating x1 from x naught in Newton-Raphson method. So that is, we are drawing one tangent at x naught, and wherever this tangent intersecting at x-axis, this is our new approximation. So this is not actually good thing. This one, this approach, even though this is a other way of proving the Newton-Raphson method. There also they have given the geometrical interpretation in terms of the tangent notation. We have already discussed these things, and this is some question they have, like here we have one function fx, and we have to calculate the approximate root this function of this function at 3x minus cos x minus 1. So how we calculate this one? So first that what one problem we have already seen about the Newton-Raphson method. In this problem, no initial approximation is provided to us. So what we do, we select 2 points. So here we have selected one is 0, another one is 1, and we are getting f of 0 is negative and f of 1 is positive. So it means our root is lying between 0 and 1. So you can take a midpoint, like x naught is equals to 0 plus 1 by 2, like zero point 0.5. But in this he has taken x naught is 0.6. This is also acceptable because this point is also lying in the interval 0 to 1. So even though you can start with 0 0.5, if you start with 0 0.5, that is also a good like in initial approximation. So because here we have guaranteed now our root is lying between 0 and 1, so you can take anything like 0 0.6, 0 0.2, 0 0.3. He has taken 0 0.6, but my suggestion is you take 0 plus 1 by 2, like 0 0.5. So now the second thing is required the derivative. So f dash of x is like 3x minus cos x minus 1. So we differentiate this with respect to x. We will get 3 plus sine x. Now we use Newton-Raphson method. So some of the, like when we solving problem, because they write this function f of x and f of xn. So this is the general method for Newton-Raphson method. F xk plus 1, fxn plus 1 equals to xn minus f of xn divided by f dash of xn. So in the previous example, we are separately calculating f of x1 and f of x2, and then f dash of x1, and then we are substituting here. But what they have done, they have written x1 xn as it is, and then they have substitute the value of f of xn. So wherever the x in the expression of fx, they replace x by xn, and wherever x in the f dash of x, they replace x by xn, and then after simplification they are getting this one. So this is their xn plus 1 is equals to this one. So now they have find one formula for Newton-Raphson method. So there is no need to write this again and again because they have converted into this formula. So now just they substitute x naught here, they will get x1, and then whatever x1 is coming, they substitute x1 in place of n, and then you will get the x2. So similarly, you can see if you substitute n equals to 0, x naught sine of x naught plus cos of x naught plus 1, and you are getting x1. And then this value directly they substitute in place of xn, they replace xn by x1, you are getting this one, and then this one. So like this they will do. So what is the problem here is it is right, no need to like there is no wrong in this. But if you do step by step like this, what we did in earlier notes, in this we actually remember this formula, and this formula actually memorize itself, and the feeling of the formula is there. Otherwise, like you have forgotten about the, even though you have initially done all the Newton-Raphson steps, and you are having this one, and this one is using like you have, if you are doing some programming of this method, then this is actually fast. You can do, you can use anyone, but for like when you are solving like first two problem in your notes, I prefer to you say solve using this like we did in earlier notes, like in this one you solve like this. But when you solving in exam, you can solve like this, that is acceptable. But if you directly write this without without writing the this formula and how you are getting this, because some of you directly write, I don't know how, but they directly write this, then I will not give the marks, because you have to at least tell me that you have obtained this from this Newton-Raphson formula. Okay, so this is the thing. So now, okay, okay, right. Okay, so the notes is already shared with you. So one assignment in bisection is already given to you, like question number 1, 5, and 7. In this regular falsy method, you solve this. In regular falsy, you solve question number A, this one, and question number D, solving using secant and as well as using regular falsy. So this is also part of the assignment. Question number A and question number D of the regular falsy problems. If you see this note, and at the end of the regular falsy discussion, there are these questions are given, and the question number of A and question number of D you have to solve by regular falsy as well as secant method also. Then Newton-Raphson method, yeah, the assignment is again A and C. You use Newton-Raphson method to solve the problem A and problem C, which is given at the end of Newton-Raphson discussion of Newton-Raphson method of this, and also this one, this A also. because I last time I asked this kind of question, find the square root of 39, and using Newton-Raphson method. So how you find, because here no polynomial is given to you. So this is the assignment. You solved all this assignment in some notes, and I will provide you one link in which you upload all the solved assignment in one sheet. Um, so I think that this discussion is over, and if you have anything, you can ask. Otherwise, okay, attendance is there. So for attendance, okay. So roll number one CSC, you write in the message your roll number, and like once the roll number one write his messages, and this message is seen to all of us, then roll number two write. Like I want in sequence. So you, if roll number one present from CSC, you write in the text message one is there. Now two write. Two is there, now three.